What's going on, everybody? Wake Up Osiris here from BG Zoo doing another review for the Overshield.com. This time we're going to be taking a look at Fading Hearts on Steam. And when I was first approached with this game, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I mean, I played various dating sims in the past and they all felt kind of the same and had a lot of the same art style, the same implemented mechanics, so you're probably asking yourself, how's it going to be any different? What's so different about this game? Well, after spending some time with Fading Hearts, I can confidently say that this game actually raises the bar for life sims slash dating sims by giving it a very definitive RPG twist to change the story on basically every axis from start to end, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. So to give you a bit of the backstory about the game, you play as Ryo, your seemingly average young high school student who attends Soriyama High and is one of three main characters in a group called the Big Three, the other two being his two best friends, Claire and Rena, which are also his main love interest. Now one day after class at the school, he's approached by a journalist called Sophia. She tells him about a group of young men who have been going around Soriyama, gaining up a whole bunch of young ladies to eventually end up breaking their hearts, and they go by the name the Wings of Light. But Ryu pays no mind to it until Claire and Rena are said to be supposed targets, his two best friends, targets of these, so to speak, players. But this surprises Ryo, and he stays strong-minded and defends them, saying they're strong-willed females and they won't fall for any of their tricks. Now I won't go on to say too much more about the story, as I want to avoid as many spoilers as possible for potential players. So let's just talk about some pros and cons and the general information about the game. Right now the game costs $15 on Steam and has 5 secret achievements. Although Steam doesn't show the achievements on the game page, trust me, they're there, they exist. At any time you can go and check them out from in-game. You can click on the extras and go into them and check them out from there. The game has a quick save feature, a quick load feature, a regular save, a skip feature for all the text dialogue. Although I would not recommend using the skip feature, the text is very important to the immersion and overall story. The basic gameplay is all text-based, which makes the game really pointless if you're clicking and skipping through everything. There's also an auto button which lets you auto scroll the text along, but I actually had some trouble getting that to work. I actually had to still click to progress the dialogue. And it also includes a preference button, which is basically your options, that allows you to change and adjust certain settings at any given time within the game. One of the pros is also that the game has a huge variety of activities that you can venture to at certain points in the game that all kind of chain together. Like, for example, in some way, say you're reading a book about weight training. That'll unlock the ability to train and level up your strength, but you can't do that without working for money in one of 3 companies that you are currently an employee in. Then you have to spend said money that you have earned to shop online. There is a shop online option to buy books, general items, and I believe mangas. Roughly $300 on the weights. This is my example, by the way. Roughly $300 on the weights to have the option to train while you're at home to build the strength, so you can later visit the forest to fight the shadow monsters. As I said, the game offers a lot of activities that all chain together in some shape or form. Another part of the game is that the artwork and the story is so fucking awesome. Like, it sucks you in. At first I had a hard time getting into it, but there's a certain point in the game where you're just drawn to the characters. You can relate to them. So if you're a sucker for well-designed art, awesome RPG, dating sim, life sim, music, whatever you want to call it, and a story that just puts you right there in the moment, and it's right up your alley, providing that you like dating sims, that is. The game also has a multiple in-game climaxes and endings, so it offers a lot of replayability. For the $15 you're going to spend, you're probably going to sink more than 30 plus hours or more into this game. So far I've put about 10 and I've gotten one ending so far, so it's pretty long. depending on how you play it and the things you go and do within the game. The game offers what they like to call true choices, which is defined as choosing your own goal, kind of like a choose your own adventure book or whatever you want to call it. Basically saying that your choices affect the total outcome of the game, maxing replayability, which is awesome. A lot of games do that now, Walking Dead, stuff like that, so it's great to see that this game is doing that. Also, the AI characters in the game, Rena, Claire, Sophia, all those, they're actually put into the game to try to manipulate you, the player. Basically trying to convince you to do things that you may or may not want to do, that may not be in your best interest. So it's totally up to you to follow your own heart, so to speak. But all the choices are completely yours. You're not forced into making any choices. It's very open to the player. The choices actually do matter at the end of the game when it's all said and done. Now, there are a couple cons about this game that I come to find. One being that the combat felt very, very simple, as to just keep clicking attack over and over and over again until you are granted with the ability to do magic. You are able to learn a lot of different spells from reading manga books, which that's awesome, by the way, that they did that. It's not just given to you, so you have to earn it. But it felt like it just took way too long to learn any types of new spells. The first spell I learned was Dispel, and it was kind of useless. It didn't tell you basically what you would get from the books. It was kind of like a guessing game where you would spend money, you would get a spell, and if it sucked, you were out of the money, which is a downside to that. I wish the books had like a description saying, hey, if you read this enough, you earn this skill. Also, there was an option in the preferences. I don't know exactly what 100% it was for. It said voice volume. It was a slider bar. Now, I personally know for myself that I don't always want to read text dialogue. Text dialogue can get really aggravating. You don't want to read it all the time, and sometimes we like to be lazy and be read to. That's what audiobooks and stuff exist for now in today's world. But I noticed that even with it turned all the way up, there was never any voice dialogue in the game, so maybe it's not implemented or working yet. Just saying. Also, the game has no Steam trading cards yet? Question mark? Big question mark? But other than that, I couldn't find too much more wrong with this game. It's awesome on so many levels, and it provides the player with a deep immersion, has a lot of replayability, and an awesome choice-based story that makes you think every step of the way. And with all that being said, I honestly would give this game, Fading Hearts, on Steam, an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was awesome. I actually enjoyed it a lot, guys. But anyways, guys, my name is Wake of Osiris, and thanks for watching.